Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel, and here we are. It is Saturday happenings for August the 26th. Like, the month is almost over. But it's been a great month. Like, there's been a lot of good stuff going on. But if you are new here, welcome to my channel. If you're returning, thanks for hanging out. And I just want to let you know that in case you don't know and you've never seen a Saturday happenings before, what I like to do is come on Saturday, kind of review the videos I did the previous week and talk about what's coming up next week and kind of things that I'm working on. So, last week was cool. Last week, oh, let me look. I have my book that I put everything. Last week I did the freezer challenge video on Sundays. Linda over at Linda's Pantry and I do this where we've doing 6 months of no buying meat for our freezer so that we can make sure it's getting rotated and there's room for fresh stuff. And it's been fun. Like, we've been doing it since May, June, July, like we only have a couple more. Yeah, I think it stops at the end of October, which is cool. But so much fun and so much good stuff. Like, I'm using things and thinking about meals that probably that meat would just sit in the freezer. And I think that having this challenge too and pulling the meat out, here's another benefit. I feel like pulling the meat out on Sunday that I'm going to use throughout the week kind of helps keep you from spur of the moment, let's pick something up on the way home, or let's grab a pizza. And yeah, last week was a week that we were in town and we had a whole bunch of stuff going on, so I didn't do as much cooking as normal, but constantly in my mind was, ooh, that chicken's in the fridge, I gotta use that. So I think it helps in that way too. Like, it helps save money from, ooh, my hair. It helps save money from, like, spending a lot going out to eat, especially on spur of the moment. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna make, I don't have anything out of the freezer. So that's a cool thing. So Sunday I did that, and I took out chicken. One big chicken that was cut into pieces, and I didn't even get to use it. It thawed, you know, it was in the refrigerator and it thawed, and I used it. And I posted a video on Friday of how I used it. But going back on Tuesday, Tuesday or Monday was my video that I redid years and years, like 10 years ago. I did a video on home canning tuna. And that's before I had good lighting and good audio and all that stuff. And I just wanted to update it. So Monday was a kind of a redo of my tuna canning video. And it was, I'm glad I did it because it's just a better video, I think. Anyway, so that was Monday. So if you want to know how to can tuna, and a lot of people said, can this be used with different fish and things like that? Like, I can salmon, I can steelhead, I can tuna. Those are primarily the only fish. You can clams, you can can crab, you can do all that stuff. But I did encourage people to go look at either the USDA Complete Guide to Home Canning, which is available for free at the National Center for Home Food Preservation under their publications, and it will tell you the different types of fish. There's like oilier fish and not in any way. It tells you different ways to do different types of fish. So that's it. But I am not schooled on anything except for tuna, salmon, and steelhead. Those are my things. So, and that's because I get it here. Like, it's from here. But anyway, then on Tuesday, I did the video of the leftover soup. Like, I made the London broil from the freezer pull from the previous week, and I did the London broil, and then I had just a little bit, not enough for like 2 leftover meals, but just enough. So I put the whole thing in a pot, in the soup that I made was delicious. I actually really love those leftover soups because they use up the stuff that's in your fridge and it doesn't go to waste. And oftentimes you don't think about it, but things from different meals, maybe you got some vegetables here, and you know what, if you did that soup and you could even put some leftover macaroni and cheese in there, it just gives it a creamier texture with some noodles. Like, you can do it. So it's good. So I did the leftover soup, and then I did a review for Dowan. Sent me the cutest little salt and pepper crock, and the platters, those are amazing. Those are so cool, and I love them going into fall because they're gonna make a perfect serving dish on the table. So check that out because I love their stuff, and I love the fact that they send me stuff and say, hey, would you show people this? And I'm like, yeah, I will, because it's good stuff. So I like that. Speaking of that, I will show you. Yesterday my video was on the chicken that I made from the freezer pull, and I just put it in a crock or a slow cooker. with some, like a half a cup of chicken broth and just a bunch of seasoning, and I let it cook, and it was so good, and the house smelled so good. I love that. So that was good, but I just put it with some pasta and some of the Mrs. Wages pasta sauce and some green beans, and I put it in the awesome little pasta bowls. These are like the bowls that Doan sent me and said, can you show these? Next week there will be a full review video on these, but they're like the perfect size. I love them. So I'm going to show you that. I'll put the link below, but next week there will be a full review on those, and you'll get to see all 4 of them. So that's cool. Those are the videos that I did last week. So next week, I do know on Thursday, I'm going to do the review of those super cool pasta. They're actually salad bowls or something, but I call them pasta bowls because they're perfect for that. So there's that. And then I've got a couple other things that I'm working on. I don't specifically have videos organized in my mind for next week yet, but there will be some because I have to do my freezer pull tomorrow, and then I will do something using that meat. And then I don't know. I might do, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe some more canning. Who knows? But I do have some large cans. I did my pantry, and I've got some of those big number 10 cans of applesauce, and I might just use those and make some applesauce fruit leathers to take on our trip. We're going on our cruise in 3 weeks, and that's kind of a good little snacky thing. But why would you bring snacks on a cruise? Like, I just stopped myself from that idea because that's ridiculous, right? Oh well. But I wanted to tell you, I was just telling my friends, my YouTube friends, about my new idea. So if you look at my gardening videos, you know I have that canvas greenhouse. Well, I also used to have chickens, but last year when we had to go take care of Brian's dad's home after he passed away, we didn't know how long we were going to be gone. And so I gave my chickens to a friend of mine who wanted to start a flock, and she wanted to have chickens. So we just moved them all over there because I didn't know how long we were going to be gone, and I thought it would be kind of difficult and to ask someone to come over constantly and check on the chickens and feed them and all that. So I thought, you know what, we'll just give them to Sam, and then I'll worry about them later. So now is that time. I miss my chickens. I love my chickens. And quite frankly, I do not produce in my garden a lot of the things like, we were just talking about this, like tomatoes. We just don't get the heat here. We're too close to the coast. We don't get the length of the day that you need or enough sunlight. And we have all these trees around. I'm not cutting trees down for more sunlight. And so I don't get what I need to do a garden with lots of things like watermelons and tomatoes and stuff like that. But we do good things like, not that they're not good, but we do other good things like beets. I can do beets, and I have to do kind of those types of cooler weather vegetables, so I don't really need the greenhouse for that because I'm not producing the bigger plants in the greenhouse. Okay, so what I've decided, we need to replace the canvas cover because it's starting to tear. So I got to thinking about it, and our chicken coop is up at the back of our property, and I can't see the chickens. Like, I like to watch them, so I would have to go up there and just sit there and a cup of coffee and watch my chickens. Whereas I like to just see them. That's why I like to let them free range in my yard, and then they tear up the flower beds. But I've decided I'm gonna move my raised beds that are up high, you know, that are on legs. I'm gonna move them around and make kind of a U shape outside the front of that greenhouse. I'm going to take the raised beds. There's like 3 raised beds and 2 of those water trough things. I'm going to move those outside because I can do beets and stuff in those. So I'm going to move all that outside, and then we're going to take the canvas off, and I'm going to convert my 10 by 20 greenhouse into a chicken run and coop. That way I can do my gardening right around there, and I can see the girls and I can watch them, and it's just right close to the house. I can literally sit in my craft room when I'm crafting and watch them. And this way also we can put like a canvas over the back part where it's going to be like their roost and everything, and we can bring the canvas like a tarp cover about halfway down, so when it's raining they still have some coverage. They didn't have that up at the other place, and so it would get all muddy and they would have to go inside, and it was just icky. This way I can kind of control the weather that happens in the coop a little bit better. And so, and in both coops, but down here I have electric because I have the grow lights in there, but I could still put lighting in there. I could put a light in the back to keep, you know, in the warm if they need it. They don't really need that here. But anyway, I'm excited. So that's my plan for coming up for fall, so in spring I can get some new baby chickens. So that's exciting. And we just finished having the whole house pressure washed. So in my mind, I'm thinking about how I'm going to decorate the porch for fall, because I like that when you come up in it, it's really warm and inviting looking. So I have all those things happen in my head. So next week will probably be a nice mix of videos, and that's what I'm doing. But right now, I'm going to head in the house. I've got one chapter left of the book I'm reading, so I'm reading that. Otherwise, it's going to get set aside, and it's going to take me 3 or 4 days to get back to it. So today, I'm reading that chapter. Then I'm going to go in. I've got some pants to hem before I go on a cruise. I got 4 pairs of pants, and they're all like 2 inches too long. So I'm going to hem those. And then I'm going to kind of think about what's in my freezer, what I'm going to do a pull for tomorrow on. So that's it. That's it for me. And that's it for this Saturday Happenings. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.